Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
Hello. So, apprentice set to researching a new spell.
Mm-hmm.
What else is on the to-do list? We were talking about dwarves, and I think that was it.
Have dwarves, spells, and mining.
We did some mining. The spells I was interested in. One idea was that channeling thing, which I think we're going to solve with just a different version of Hold Portal.
Mm-hmm.
Some other ideas for like extruding earth from this elemental plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted the grasping hand for, but alas, it even like earth spikes or...
So it's 2 weeks per spell level, and then the chance is kind of shit, and then the longer you take, the more you can roll for it.
Okay.
What's your apprentice's int?
12 or something. So it'd really be more effective for Devon to do this, but you know, gotta learn somehow.
Mm-hmm. So the base chance is 21% after the initial 2 weeks, but then for each additional week, you can get another 10% chance. So it'll take 5 weeks to get a 50% chance.
And you only fail on a 95 to 100 or something? Or like fail?
99 to 100 is the total failure.
Okay, so unless you're worried about total failure, you might as well just roll every week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So should I roll some D100s to...
Yeah, 21% or lower, and then every week thereafter, it's another 10%. There you go.
This is the first week. Well, 2 weeks, right?
Right, 2 weeks in, and the spell is learned. Thank you for Devon's tutelage.
And patronage.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So question, the tongues spell. This enables the wizard to speak and understand. Okay, that answers my question. Speak and understand additional languages.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Devon will attempt to learn that.
All right. Let's see it, Devon.
RD100, less than 70. Okay,
Success.
Tongues. So I can
3D
go...
2 days. Not that it matters, but...
Yeah, I'm going to need some small clay ziggurats. It does not state anything about the quality of said ziggurats, so Devon can make his own little mud ziggurats, and they'll be fine.
Yep. Let's give me that 3D2, just so I know.
Oh, yeah. Let me finish copying the spell. Tongues is alteration. Cool. All right, 3D2.
Mm-hmm.
4 days. On top of the failed Bigsby hand, that was like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Devon takes a trip with the giant to relocate the blood fountain.
Ah, yes. That will probably take a couple of days because you'll want to move it nice and carefully and slowly.
Mm-hmm.
It will do. The other giants in the area don't give you trouble. There are the occasional cockatrice roaming about, but other than that, the winter is going to be kind of safe and sound.
Can we add them to our collection?
Yeah, let's see if we run into any cockatrice. It's unlikely on any given day to run into them, but given sufficient time, you're bound to run into one eventually. No, 1, 2. Ooh, hey, look at that.
We got a vein of silver, right?
Yeah, you do.
And not that we didn't already have silver. Okay, so I will have miniature silver bands, just in case.
Well, on your second day of moving the blood fountain, you do come across the cockatrice. Let's roll a d10 to see which group, if any, is surprised. You are both surprised. Wow, both groups roll a 1 on their surprise check.
Whoa.
So it sounds like you're moving the blood fountain, and there must be like a river valley that you're running through, like a dry valley. And as you come round the edge of the valley, or pass as a slope comes down to the ground. You guys are carrying this blood fountain between you, and this cockatrice like pokes its head out and starts poking around, and you guys are like holding the fountain while it's like near your ankles, and it sort of looks up at you, surprised to see you. And there's a moment where everyone's looking at everything, and then it goes, and I believe that's an initiative.
Yeah, initiative roll. All right.
Yeah, because a cockatrice ain't nothing to shake a stick at. That thing could kill you.
I suppose.
Could petrify you.
How far away is it?
Ooh, I think when you're surprised, it's within 20 feet. Cockatrice will roll 1d10 plus 3 for initiative. It rolls a 4.
Seriously?
Yeah, I did it in roll 20 and everything. Oh no. All right, well, it's you
so
and
it sees a giant and a wizard, and it charges. Is that what I'm hearing, or is it running?
Well, the cockatrice is not inherently all that intelligent. It exists to stone things, to kill them, to attack them. It has little concern for its own well-being. It doesn't really reproduce in standard ways. It's a monstrosity of a creation. So I will give it a morale check to see what its interest is. But it very well may charge into certain death just out of sheer stupidity and form and function. But with an 11 on the morale check, we must consult the Tome of Knowledge. Cockatrice, morale 11 to 12. It succeeds. I think the cockatrice is going to take a peck at a crime. Here's this creature. Okay. It's coming. There's two of you, right? It's you and the big giant.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's coming for you, Ryan.
Nobody's surprised, right?
Everyone was surprised.
Yeah, but since everyone was surprised, nobody's surprised?
The surprise round goes off with everyone staring at each other surprised.
And even if we haven't acted yet, we still have our full AC?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that you're carrying a fountain.
Said fountain will be more or less disassembled, right? It's a pretty big basin, actually.
You're not carrying it as one fountain between the two of you. You're probably carrying the mask and the spear.
I'm carefully carrying the troll heart.
Yeah.
As I had it trapped to self-destruct.
Yeah. So the giant's probably carrying the basin, which does leave you more or less free to move about. So I don't think you're penalized dexterity-wise at all. The cockatrice will come and peck at you, and the ones will just keep on rolling. A double 1 and 11. Plus 5 is a 16. Is that a hit?
That should miss.
You sound uncertain.
Depends how much you want to penalize.
I thought you were unpenalized in your armor class.
Yeah, if I'm unpenalized, my AC is 18. That's including fighting style, martial arts stuff, and
fighting style,
etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, Scarab of Protection is not included here. Oh no, it's under AC modifiers.
Oh, did you include it in your magic AC? Because you've got 5. That's probably 4 from armor and 1 from Scarab of Protection.
Correct. Okay, yeah. So it's magic. Got it. Yep.
And then 2 from what's the armor 2? Oh, that's martial arts.
I think that's
style.
Coming from fighting style, and dexterity is coming as 1.
There we go. Perfect. Okay, so the cockatrice comes at you, and you can back up, get out of the way while it pecks towards your toes. And then you
down
get to
the
take your
troll
turn.
heart and conjure some bands of cerulean.
Saving throw for the creature. A 13.
It has a penalty of 1, I believe, on this.
Well, it's got a saving throw of 14. And so it rolls a 12 out of 14, and it is cerulean.
It is cerulean.
Tell me about these Ceruleans.
Well, a number of shining metallic bands materialize in the air, encircling the cockatrice, and they shrink to fit, capturing the creature and holding it fast. I think it's just held.
It's held then.
Yeah, and I think I can just bludgeon it to death. Well, to unconsciousness, and then keep it for later.
Mm-hmm. Can it not move? It can do nothing, right? It's just like trapped in place.
You know, it doesn't. It's really generic. I think it's considered held, right?
Victim is allowed a saving throw. Any creature less than gargantuan can be snared.
Oh, here we go. I think your Regal Goblins is missing a paragraph. If he fails, he is caught and held immobile by the bands. He cannot move his arms and legs, but he is still capable of speech and can employ psionic powers or use worn magic items such as rings. Subject with a strength rating may attempt to bend bars, lift gates. Without a strength rating, it may make a saving throw versus petrification at -4.
Well, that sounds like you have restrained the creature for 10 minutes plus 1 round per level. So it's held, and you have I guess you had plenty of opportunities to inspect a cockatrice before, but probably few opportunities to inspect them while they're conscious and you're holding them. Normally it's like a passed out bird that you're like dangling by the feet, but this time you know, as long as you don't touch its head, the whole creature's alive and kicking and squawking and struggling and not getting anywhere against these bands.
Yeah. So I guess I'll take this opportunity to inspect it. I mean, I was mostly just going to bop it on the head until it's unconscious, but if you're saying there's something to be noticed.
Ooh, I set myself up for that, didn't I?
Yeah, right? Like I wasn't even gonna... I mean,
well, you know,
interesting.
Yeah, it's a fascinating
bat wings and
a little spiked tail that's going on. You know, weird little critter. Chicken feet, spiked tail, bat wings, strange beak, beady eyes. Yeah, it seems to squawk like a chicken. It makes sounds much like a chicken, but you've noticed that before. Let's see. What else might you notice about a cockatrice now that you didn't before? I guess you've seen them moving about. They flap their wings. They are capable of flight, it would look like, but you haven't seen any flying around yet. Maybe it's just short bursts of flight? You normally have them bound in such a way as to prevent them from escaping, right? Or have you just been throwing them in a pit and they just haven't been flying out?
There is a lid on the pit. It's
there
like
we go.
Barred pit. I mean, initially it was a cage, and then we decided a pit was better.
Yep. Well, maybe there's nothing to notice after all, but you have a cockatrice.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll bop it on the head. I'll attempt to sap it until it falls unconscious, which should be doable. I mean, I can roll attack rolls and damage rolls and percentiles if you'd like.
I don't think
Otherwise
we need to. Yeah, I think you can just bash it about until it's unconscious.
And tie it up and drag it along with us. I have... Presumably I've got something I can...
Well, I don't know. I think there's not much else to do, but you move the blood fountain.
Yeah. And probably the cockatrice pit is, that seems like a vengeful thing to keep around, right?
Yeah, it's probably also really dangerous to keep around in the town. Probably safer. You wouldn't want like an earthquake to accidentally open the pit and then to have a whole swarm of cockatrices running around the town, you know?
It's probably, if it's not already trapped with minor sealing ward, it will be now. I don't know if that will be enough. Well, if there's a bunch of sealing wards around it, it could blow up a cockatrice. So we'll eventually dig a new cockatrice pit, probably outside of the Temple of Vengeance. The side yard. Maybe eventually build a whole enclosure, a cockatrice zoo. Eventually we'll farm them for their feathers. Maybe get an animal trainer to train them for our defense.
I don't know how well that's going to work, but a cockatrice trainer could be someone's full-time job to the end of their life.
Their short life. Cool.
Yeah. But you bring that stuff over there. You come on back to your home. Any other spells you wanted to learn?
I think I'm okay. I learned tongues, right? So I think I'm probably ready for wizard stuff. I like Lance of Disruption, but I think I failed that already. Do I have to spell magic, right? Yes, spell magic. Yeah.
Okay.
Feeling pretty good. And I think the time to move the Blood Fountain to the Temple of Vengeance and the Cockatrice Pit will probably line Devon and his apprentice up once again.
Yeah. By the time the pit is moved or like redug and the cockatrices are carefully moved and the Blood Fountain is reassembled appropriately, your apprentice will have finished their stuff and we can come in near the end of January.
In this time, can I have done another legend lore on elementals and wandering elementals and I don't know, maybe like risks associated. I mean, we already talked a little bit about this, but like, how does an elemental get through a portal? Are they drawn to them? And how do you deal with an elemental once it's slipped its way into a plane it does not belong?
Right. So, legend lore will tell you very quickly that elementals can sometimes just shift into the material world. This can be as a result of magic, like in another place altogether. Say someone casts Maximilian's Earthen Fist on that continent over there, it can trigger some sort of, what would you call it? Like an effect elsewhere. The magic has consequences, but it doesn't always have consequences in the same area. So you might cast a spell here and somewhere else where the magic is being drawn from, there's a small opening through which a creature can come. So any spell that involves the elemental plane of Earth has an opportunity to disrupt the bridge between the material world and the elemental world, possibly creating an opening for a creature to come through. Minor Gateway is one of those examples, but the effect tends to be a little bit more localized than with other Earth elemental planes, because here's the portal right before you. So there's an elemental nearby, they can usually just step from one to the other, you know, as if two pieces of paper have been folded so that their sides touch, and the creature can just choose to walk into the next piece of paper.
Do they often choose to just walk in? Like, our extra dimensional creatures attracted to such portals? Or is it more random chance?
It tends to be more random chance unless there's something that they're specifically looking for. You know, if there's an elemental or like a Zorn, for example, they eat precious metals, or any metals actually. So if you are opening this portal and there happens to be a Zorn on the other side of the portal and they smell your metals, they might come like marching for you, looking for you.
Okay. Interesting. Not particularly useful, but we'll continue inviting disaster. In this case, the apprentice will have learned. I will go ahead and add second hold portal. By the way, I will have one mask. What is it called? Watchful Ward. I don't know how many I have. I think I have two different ones. One of them will be set above or around the Velthara temple.
Okay.
Either above the entrance or on the wall inside. I'll leave Kronos responsible for the interior decorating.
Okay.
All right. Hold portal. Apprentice spells. We'll add. Not every spell is abjuration. Okay, every spell is abjuration. All right. Cool. She actually has to touch it this time. The hold portal. But here she can channel, and we'll have an opening to the elemental plane of Earth as long as her little apprentice Will can hold out. Kronos is probably not here, right? Is he gone off to his Velthara temple?
Kronos is at his Velthara temple, making it look nice and good and neat. You know?
So I think it is Heifer and Devon. Are you serious? Mining more iron.
More iron indeed. No, a 9 is silver.
Oh, silver indeed.
Yes. Okay. You get a few more chunks of solid silver that get ripped out of the earth.
Not a few more chunks. We can mine all day.
Oh, that's right, because she can channel it Is the channeling unlimited? I forgot to check.
Yeah. 1 round per level, although this time starts when the caster finishes channeling the spell.
Right. Okay, so you can channel for as long as she wants, and then it'll last for 1 additional round thereafter.
There will presumably be some limitation, right? I don't know, I don't know if you would start at like number of rounds equal to your willpower or constitution and have to roll from there on out, or number of turns equal to... No, I don't know. I mean, up to you.
I think as soon as it begins to get stressful, there's got to be some sort of check. So maybe just like, you're standing in the baking sun for 15 minutes doing this, make a check. You're standing, the wind picks up and something blows in your eye, and you like go to feel your eye or like let it blow in your eye. So there will definitely be some sort of upper limit. For the time being, it doesn't matter particularly what it is. We'll just say... what is this, 14 rounds you're able to continue it until the apprentice like has something come up and they fumble their spell. And
how much silver do Heifer and Devon obtain in this time?
Well, you're both pretty strong, and you have, I do believe there's a pick with you.
I think Heifer has a pick. Devon probably has his 18-100 Fists of Stone.
So Heifer can, chip away at things. Devon can grab them and rip them out. And I think in 14 minutes, you guys can probably pull out a chunk of silver that is about yay long, about yay. If you were to make it into a cylinder, about yay big around. This is 3, maybe 4 inches in diameter and 8 inches long. Maybe 12 inches long.
Yeah. Do we see anything interesting? Like as we begin to dig into the elemental plane of Earth, is it like we are drawn deeper as we see like this vein continue in? Are there caverns and pathways that we uncover?
No, it is solid. You find no hollow points, no pockets of air, just pure rock and earth and silver and small little quartz crystals all over the place. There's like quartz in and around the silver vein that you're digging in.
Maybe some of that comes out as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be other bits that fall out as you plumb for silver. And nearing the end of your portal time, not exactly at the end, maybe a minute or two before it finishes up, you pull out a chunk of silver, and then the thing behind the chunk of silver shifts and moves, and like it was rock, but the surface of the rock, like the texture of the rock, shifted and changed, kind of like when an octopus blends itself into something, and then like it seems to take on the properties of the kelp or the coral it's against. The rock sort of like camouflages or uncamouflages, one of the two.
And maybe this is where things start to end, but then Devon is like, step back, heifer. Did you see that? And Devon extends his ESP circlet to see if he can like feel out the thoughts of a conscious entity in the rock wall.
Yes. You do. You can reach out and feel the mind of another creature.
Think in common.
Do you need to speak their language to ESP?
I don't think so, but I think if you don't, it's probably more like emotional information that you would get.
Well, the information you get is startled. You get like a sense of something being surprised, and followed by a flight or fight reaction, which ends in flight. So something was definitely there, and you spooked it, and it ran, and you can just like catch these trailing thoughts of gotta stay safe, get away from danger, and then the creature's moving through the earth somehow, and you have trouble tracing it and following it.
And ESP is blocked, I think, as soon as it moves through 2 feet of rock. So
there we go.
Almost instantly. What was that? I don't know. And I think like this is probably what triggers apprentices failing concentration, right? Like we're all a little spooked by this. She probably doesn't have a very good look at what we're seeing, but she hears this concern, and like suddenly that breaks her concentration, and she realizes she's got an itch that she hasn't scratched, and I think it all kind of comes to a grinding halt, and the portal is closed back up.
Yep.
However, if we get a big troop of people here, some of which to like fan the apprentice and feed her lemonade, massage her shoulders while she concentrates.
Get like a little mister over there, someone holding an umbrella. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that can be done the next day. If you're interested in going back to the elemental plane of Earth.
I mean, this seems like an exploit that we just need to keep digging at until we hit the consequences.
Yeah. All right. Well,
this is probably better than going to get the dwarves this time of year. Although maybe we'll try one. I bet the dwarves would love this. Or maybe they'd be like, Abs, don't do that. You don't dig into the elemental plane of Earth. Don't you know anything, stupid humans?
Well, give us another set of 2d8, Ryan.
Are you serious?
Oh my god. 8, 8, 7, 9, 9, 8?
8 was copper.
Yep, 8 is copper.
And I think this time we've like, maybe we go and do it in the copper mine? I think we'll walk over to the copper mine and do all of this. Because I wanted to get all the miners' help. And I mean, I guess good thing it's copper.
Yeah, they're
got all these copper mining professionals.
They're happy to do it, and you can get someone to keep an eye on the wizard who's holding open the portal.
I mean, with professional copper miners, we probably don't even need me. I think Devon will keep an eye on his apprentice and maybe send servants.
Yeah, I think with the size of the portal, really only 2 people can work on it at a time.
I can enlarge the portal.
Well, then you can get quite a bit more, can't you?
That only lasts for five rounds per level. Okay, that's like half an hour.
Okay. Yeah, so for half an hour, your people tear at the mine, pulling out an immense amount of pure copper, a volume that your standard mine would produce in, weeks maybe. These miners are able to pull out in a matter of less than an hour. make a die roll. Yeah. So they pull out in this half an hour enough copper, and the hole gets deep enough that for them to reach any further bits, they would have to start like stepping through the portal to start reaching deeper in.
I mean, I guess Devon realizes this, but the question is like, do the miners see this as a concern? Like, or do the miners just keep mining, and like suddenly Devon's like, these guys are stepping like 5 feet into the elemental plane of Earth.
Well, tell me, did you tell them the truth about what you're doing, or did you just say, hold on, guys, I found a great spot. Here's some copper to mine?
I think it's more that. It's not like I don't tell them the truth. It's like I don't tell them the truth. I think it's like they don't really need to know. Nor would they really be capable of understanding elemental planes of Earth. Yeah, so I don't think they really... I mean, clearly it seems like it's magic, right? I'm opening up a portal into... Yeah.
Well, they certainly don't know what's going on then, so it's you who realizes that they're beginning to take steps inside the portal in order to mine the copper, and you might feel a little nervous about this.
Devon is very nervous about this, but I don't know if he stops it immediately, if it seems like it's productive. Let's see, he will certainly ready... think about the best way to like protect these guys should something come out. Glancing blow is certainly an option. So I think for now he's like thinking about how to protect them. Preparing a glancing blow is my current like ready to action. If like anything goes at the miners stepping in, I will attempt to glance it.
Great. Well, it's probably time for that glancing blow, because one of these guys takes his pick, brings it in, hits something that he thought was just going to be like earth to break up to get back towards that same vein, but instead the pick sinks into it as if it's clay. And he gives a start of surprise, and then like the clay begins to twist and turn, and the pick begins to like sink deeper into the clay despite the miner trying to pull it out.
Yeah, let go of that. Get back, everybody back.
And a hand reaches out from the clay. A clay hand comes out for the miner. And I think glancing blow deflects damage. Doesn't add AC, right?
Reducing the damage, yes. For me, it would be by 2d4.
So the creature will roll a natural 20. Plus
Really?
It's a THAC0 bonus of 7 for a 27 to hit our miner friend. I do believe that will max damage the miner.
What do you mean? Wait, maximum on the damage or max crit?
A max crit, yes. For 4d10. I'm sorry. It's 2d10, so crit would be 4d10, double crit would be 6d10.
Glance doesn't even matter.
35 damage as the stone hand reaches out, grabs the person, crunches them, and then drags them back into the clay. Bones broken, sticking out at weird angles. The
Everybody
screams
back!
Of the person.
And
yeah, they back out.
Apprentice, close the portal.
She lets go, but it will continue for one round thereafter. So roll me initiative.
Oh, you're right. She can't cancel it at will, or does it continue?
No, it continues for one additional round.
Interesting.
Yeah. One dead miner.
That's fine. We'll just wrap him up in the elemental plane of Earth, and it'll be like it never happened.
All right. Well, the elemental will roll D10 plus 6.
Bad.
We get a 14 on initiative.
Oh, perfect.
What did you get?
13. Maximum.
So
with
close.
my bands of Cerulean. So I'll be preparing this. Does it look like he's moving to step back out, or can I even tell?
At first, you're not really sure what's going on. You just see like the hand close around the person and drag them back in. You begin to prep your bands of Cerulean spell when the clay like begins to flow almost like water in your direction.
Okay, so I'll be probably about 10 feet back. I think everyone's stepping back. I'm casting the spell, and I will like trigger it to cast as soon as the creature steps out.
Okay.
That risky? I guess we'll see. I'll let you decide. Part of me was tempted to like wait for it to step into the prime material plane so I can trap it in a bands of cerulean and have a pet elemental. That seems to have enough risks that maybe I'm better off just sealing it inside the elemental plane. So I guess why don't you roll a saving throw versus spell at -1. And,
shit, I did the wrong damage roll. It should be 12d8, not 6010.
He's dead no matter what, but actually, yeah.
71. There we go. That's a more appropriate.
Oh my
wow,
God.
that's a really good 12d8.
Hold on. He only takes 67 damage. And he has to make a system shock.
Oh yeah, he's definitely dead. Yeah. All right, so the creature oozes out of its like clay pit through the mined out section into the mine on the other side of the portal as you throw bands of cerulean on it. It will have to make a saving throw. That is a 1d20, a 16.
Oh, that's not good. It's 15, but it's still going to pass, I think.
It has...
Warriors don't have great save versus spell, but it's still better than a 15.
Yes, his save is a 13.
So the bands conjure at odd angles. They try to close around it, and he just kind of like squirms right through the bands.
Yeah, the clay flows like water, and it just like seeps out of between the bands and spills on the floor, and materializes into this shape of like a person from the torso up only, like dragging its torso across the ground by its hands that it has out. And like there's not really much of a neck, but there's like a weird sort of bulbous head with these gemstones of obsidian for eyes staring out at you. Little bits of like rock sticking out of its back, almost like not an Allosaurus, an Ankylosaurus sort of back. And
let's do some calculation of how many spell points I spent. Third level spells, 12. So there's 2 of those. That's 24. Plus 2 first level spells is 30. Goodness gracious. We're not looking good.
Uh-oh. Did you already blow through 30 spell points?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, one of them was at Bands of Cerulean. One of them was opening the portal in the first place.
Yeah. This is why I like the spell system, is that the spell point system is that you can cast a whole bunch of high level things and then be down to like only low level spells. You know, it gives you flexibility. All right, here we go. It makes a reach for you, Ryan.
Can I cast a Glancing Glow on this, or
yes,
we're prepared to cast it? Okay.
15 plus 7 is 22.
Oh my god.
It hits you for 4d8 hit points worth of damage.
Seriously?
You wanted adventures with the elemental plane of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like the inverse of the other 48. We got a total of 18 hit points worth of damage.
Still nasty. All right, reduced by 6 is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Just a hot second, and then we'll roll initiative. All right, we're going to take a risk.
A risk?
I suppose.
Well, let's roll initiative. Oh, you did. You already... Oh, my God. That's what you were... Whoa, I don't know what you're doing here, but he rolls a 10 on the die plus 6 is a 16 versus your 6. What are you gatewaying?
I'm going to open up another portal to the plane of Earth, this time right in front of me. Oops, that's not the elemental plane of Earth, hopefully in the path of the creature. So I'll be like casting it as I step back, hopefully luring the creature to like take a step back to his home plane as the portal opens up, if that makes sense.
That is an interesting approach.
And in this case, it's only instantaneous. So hopefully like the portal opens just enough time for him to like slip forward and then it closes behind him. I don't know what the chances are of him stepping in. Maybe he only steps a little ways in and gets stuck and chops off his face.
The portal opens in front of you, blocking your viewpoint of the creature, and then it fades. And by the time it fades, the other portal has also faded. And what you have in the middle is a subsection of the elemental. But apparently, elementals are like worms. And when you just have like the middle section, it's still active. But it is significantly smaller, which will say having taken damage.
So did it get any saving throw or anything to avoid that, or you're just like ruling
I made an intelligence check for it to see what it might do, and it crawled partway in through the other one, and I figured part of its body was still in the first one, and so that little gap in between is what's left.
I think it probably walked all the way toward, right? Punch me if I'm like 10 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, it's crawling towards you. It got one hit on you. It wanted to rend you and rip you to pieces. It can tell that the magic is coming from you. It can like taste the magic in the air, and so it comes towards you, ends up crawling partway into the portal, gets a little bit shut off, and whether this is the same elemental or a fragment of the elemental is unknown, but there it remains a segment of elemental here. That will be its HP, and it will take the rest of the round to sort of like reform itself because it's been hacked into bits, like its back end and front end have been removed, and so it adjusts to its situation, reforming into a different sort of body. Rather than like a person dragging a torso, it becomes more of like a weird sand snake worm sort of thing with like rivets of clay and rock that attach it to the ground that like flow with it as well.
Can I even hurt this creature?
Maybe.
It's probably immune to non-magical weapons.
Looks more like this guy.
Oh, cool. What are the miners doing? Are they like
fleeing, running backwards, shouting, "Oh my god, it's a monster!" Leaving you and your apprentice to this creature here. And let's please roll initiative.
Yeah.
It will roll a 14.
There's no way that I don't go first, I don't think. But let me just double check where that initiative. Okay, two-handed weapon style. Yeah, so. So we will feel this creature out, I think. This is actually the spear point end. Doesn't actually matter. Oh, wait, that's initiative. That's not exactly the same. Karate chopping with a free offhand. That will hit.
19. And what is your bow? This is not a magical attack, is it?
No, that's what I'm testing. Does it do anything?
Yeah, it does nothing at all.
I run and curse my DM for not giving me any magic items.
Okay. You flee?
I will...
an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, I think, I guess I will... What, it misses?
Yeah, it rolls a 5.
Well, let's just move over to the next town and start this campaign over.
All right.
Because I have no way to damage this creature. I have no magic items. I have like 4 MP left.
Yeah.
I think we just like withdraw and watch from a distance.
Looks like the party
can
leaves
heal
the
myself.
mine.
Yeah, I don't know. Was this did this take place inside of the mine, or did it take place?
That's what you had said, which is
I
actually
went over to the
probably
mine. It's probably
one
better.
of the-
Maybe it'll just haunt the mine for a little while until I can
Yeah.
replenish my MP and come blow it up.
If you had done it in town, it would have been a huge problem. If you had done it like in the
Right.
middle of nowhere, it probably wouldn't have been that big of a problem. The mine is an interesting mix because it's near town, but it's also sort of like the Earth Elemental's domain already. So as you guys flee, it does not come out after you. But the people in the mine, the miners, are not too thrilled about this, and they decide to take some time off from mining.
Of course.
Hell,
Yeah.
they just got a whole bunch of copper anyway.
Did they
you know?
actually get it out in time? Or is it down there in the mine?
Some of it has been hauled out and some of it's still in the mine. But all you got to do is go back and get the rest of it eventually.
Yeah. If I have full MP, I think I can dispatch that creature. I think it's just that I already spent a good chunk of my MP opening the portal, and I don't have any magic weapons. I mean, so what happens? We flee, it misses its attack of opportunity. We get outside the mine and we look back and we don't see the creature emerge.
It does not emerge after you. It's somewhere in the mine or in the earth near the mine.
Uh-oh.
Somewhere up there.
Well, that's pretty much the worst case scenario, I say to my apprentice.
She looks at you slack-jawed and surprised.
At least nobody died. Well, almost nobody.
Well, the person who died was
Are you gonna roll?
Dale.
The name?
His name was Dale. He's married, but he's a young man. You know, recently married. He was only like 19 years old, so no kids. But someone's got to go tell Dale's wife that he's not around anymore.
It'll be his foreman's job, right? He died in a tragic mining accident. This happens all the time. It's a dangerous line of work.
You sure? You don't want to be the one to tell Nancy?
You don't name... I don't even know my apprentice's damn name, and here you are naming the dead NPCs? I'm sure the apprentice has a name, but...
Yeah, the dead NPC's wife. She's got feelings that we need to consider. He always knew the government was out to get him. He just never thought it would turn out like this.
All right, so Devon will board up the mine.
Okay. The foreman will go talk to Nancy.
I mean...
It's fine.
Do I even know who this Dale was?
You're vaguely aware of him.
Was he from our town, or was he from elsewhere?
Yeah, he's from your town. He's actually in your age bracket. You probably knew him in some way, shape, or form. But you've always been sort of a little bit of an outcast, right? Because you've been hanging out with Atropos.
I mean, is the foreman from this town?
Yeah, I think all the workers are from this town.
Yeah.
Or maybe not all of them. You have had some immigrants recently. Probably most of them
Yeah.
are from the town.
I mean, if Devon knew this Dale, he can be the one to go deliver the news to Nancy, who I probably also know.
Yeah, how old is Devon?
Is 20. Supposedly.
Yeah, so this
Maybe
guy's only a
older by
year
now.
younger than you. There can't be that many kids in the town of similar age to you, so you definitely knew Dale. He was kind of a dick, you know?
Okay.
He was a little bit paranoid, a little bit stuck up, thin as a stick, you know? Always grumbling about how unfair the world is, how, you know...
You think this world's unfair? Just wait till you see the elemental plane of Earth. Wow. So, Devon will go inform Dale's young wife that poor Dale died in a tragic mining accident. Nancy, I've got some bad news. On the plus side, she'll have a lifetime supply of copper, which is probably more valuable than her ingrate husband.
Yeah, She seems...
She's young. She can remarry.
She'll have a whole lifetime ahead of her. And also, she doesn't seem to be too broken up. You tell her that her husband's dead, and she just kind of looks at you and takes a puff off of her cigarette, gives a bit of a shrug. She's a few years older than he is.
Oh, really? Maybe she won't be able to remarry.
I mean, she's like 22. There's plenty of time.
Oh.
But she was growing a little tired of him. He might have been cute. His what would you call it? Paranoia and government suspicion might have been cute when he was young, but by the time he's 19...
What government? We're in a town of like a couple hundred people.
And that's the way he wants to keep it.
Is he... Oh, is it Hearthhome that's reaching out their tendrils?
Oh, there's always someone out there. You know, his family came out here 5 generations ago from Hearthhome because of how bad it was there. And he's kept true to the family tradition of not trusting those who try and put themselves in power over you.
Gotcha.
Yeah, as you've gained in power, he has become less of a close friend to you. Probably good that he's dead, actually.
I'm now part of the problem.
Yeah, you're part of the government. You are the government.
Yeah.
But he's dead now, which has cleared your way. Your greatest detractor that you didn't even know was detracting from you is now gone. Maybe this was good.
Okay. So then Devon will retreat to his study to regain MP and approach this Earth Elemental once again.
Let's see what the Earth Elemental does.
Earth Elementals don't have blood, do they?
No, this thing looked like it was solid clay.
So no way to trap it inside of a mirror.
Yeah. How do you fight a creature made of clay?
Blast it.
With what do you blast it?
Anything and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well.
Probably fireballs are honestly the most effective, but actually, if it gets too close to me, elemental planes of fire might actually... How much HP did it lose? It might have been more effective to just burn it for 86 points of damage. But...
Well. Is it time to head on in, look for it, and open a portal to the elemental plane of fire and blow it up that way?
Something like that. Let me recover my MP. So this first day there was activity. Right, I can't like immediately go study to regain extra MP. The
right,
best I
you
can do
could
is
gain
get good sleep.
Good sleep, yeah.
So getting 7. I will recast my armor spell. Our blessed leather situation, am I able to get that from Atropos or from Platos, or do we still...
Yeah, Platos has been a steady supply for you. As long as there's time in between, we can say he's fed and whatnot.
Okay. All right, so that was the first day. Do I receive... I think I send my apprentice to, like, keep an eye on the mine. Not as, like, watch, but, like, to bring me word if anything happens. Otherwise, I'm resting and recovering. And am not to be disturbed.
Okay, well, you rest, you recover, you are not disturbed. The elemental does not show up that day or that night. And by the time you wake the next day, the mine is still boarded up, blocked off. And
we were hoping to get some kind of medic or doctor or surgeon in Necrot. But I don't know if anything was ever actually done in that department. Was it?
think that you have not discovered such a person.
I think the person who was supposed to do that wound up as Atropos' apprentice. Now that I think about it, it was that's who that lady was. I suggested she go to Necrot, and I had in mind to make her our town surgeon or something.
And instead, she's your replacement.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gaining 1 HP a day. I'll probably chug some troll blood, and it'll be fine. So I guess I will wait out a second day.
I think you changed your mic settings.
That shouldn't happen.
Yeah, but I can hear your clicks now. Feels like it got off Cartoid.
Still the same microphone. That's weird. I mean, I've got a mechanical keyboard, so it clicks pretty loud, but...
I mean, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just there was a sudden, slight change.
Well, I'll go ahead and click some more, and we can see.
Okay.
How does that sound?
It's fine. It's just, any change is...
Oh, that's perfect. That's the exact MP that I need to get to full.
Love it.
I will quaff a potion, or maybe 2. Let's see what I've got. I have 1 potion of healing and 2 potions of healing. I think one of them is a regular potion of healing, and 2 of them are potions of troll blood. But the mechanical effect is the same. Is it 2d4 plus 2?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I might need to do 2 of these. 7 is not bad. If I'm 4 HP short, is that actually? What did I?
How did you get so much MP? Oh, this isn't one night. This is one.
This is 3. So there's 1 night's sleep, the night of the fight, and then 2 full days of study.
Right. Okay. Let me make sure the elemental doesn't come out in those days.
I think I gain 1 to 25.
Day. So the second day, it does not exit the mine, but it does. There are people who come back saying they saw it looking out of the mine, like oozing out between boards and then retracting back in after rocks were thrown at it. And the third day, you hear nothing from the people at the mine about it. Okay.
At the end of when do I regain that MP? That will be... It's not at the end of the day of study. It's after studying and then sleeping.
Sleeping, right. You get it back in the morning after resting.
Okay. So it is then that I will venture forth.
So on the beginning of the 4th day is when you venture out. Okay. Well, you can venture back to the mine, and you'll find the reason no one came to talk to you about what was happening on the 3rd day is because they're missing. You get to the mine, and you can find some blood stains and some skin that looks like it was, like, ripped off somehow. There's clear signs of violent struggle at the entrance to the mine. But the humans that were part of the violent struggle are nowhere to be found. Probably dead.
Why were there humans at the mine? Were they standing watch?
Someone wanted to keep an eye on it, see what was going on. And they paid for it.
Are 5 steel coins obtainable? Does such a thing exist in the town already, or...
You've pulled out some iron. It's not unreasonable that you could have made some iron coins if you want them. Or had your smith make some iron coins in the last 4 days while you've been resting.
Okay. I will do that for my spirit armor. Fight earth with earth. Conjure some earth spirits to protect me from the earth elemental.
Okay. Well.
Actually, maybe that's not even worth it. Right, it will protect me, but it's a 3rd level... It could be a fireball. I mean, if you think about it, aren't all MP better off just as fireballs?
I think so.
If I didn't have my armor spell, that's 1 more fireball.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
I mean, why not just have all fireballs all the time?
Well, because Minor Gateway does more damage.
Then Fireball?
Until you are 9th level. Yeah. Minor Gateway does a flat 8d6.
Oh, and Fireball does d6 per spell level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
I already said that I recast armor, but I'm regretting that because that could be another fireball.
Mm. Oh, well.
Regrets.
Yeah. You could slam your head into a tree until it wears off.
It's more the MP that I would need to recover.
You slam your head against a tree and then take a nap.
You've been spending too much time with your other PCs.
Yeah, I really have.
So Devon approaches the mine.
Find these
Cautiously steps forward.
sections of injury and blood, peeled back skins resting against the edge of some of the slats that board up the mine.
It peeled the humans? That's horrible.
They got peeled somehow. It might not have been an intentional, I'm going to flay your skin. It might have been more of like, I'm just going to pull you in between this space that is too narrow for you to go, and part of your skin is just going to you're just going to deglove your hand accidentally in the process.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah. That's why you don't wear wedding rings while you work with power tools, kids. Or any rings. Or jewelry of any kind. And while you tie your hair back. Well?
And I guess... Devon will shout into the mine. Creature of Earth, visitor from another plane. You don't belong here. Come out and meet your fate. And probably nothing happens, but we could get lucky.
Nothing happens. Just quiet.
Mm-hmm. Can you dispel elementals?
You can banish them back to their plane if you
What
have...
about a dispel magic? An interdimensional surface.
Abjure is the spell you need.
Yeah.
Fourth
happens
level.
What happens if you try to dispel magic on an elemental? Nothing?
There's only one way to find out. And if it's nothing, then there goes another 3rd level spell slot. Or MP.
All right, fireball it is.
Okay.
But we'll see. Devon, I think, will cautiously enter the mine.
Mm-hmm.
Glancing blow readily at hand. How deep is the mine at this point?
There are maybe 1,000 or so feet of passage, and it probably goes scores of feet underground.
Okay.
So not a huge operation at the moment.
How long does the ESP on my amulet last? Or on my...
I believe it's as long as channeled. I think the bigger question is how many times a day can you channel it?
I think it's only once per day.
Okay. Then it should be...
I'm wondering about using it to, like, see if the creature is approaching.
Stop by 2 feet of rock. Duration is normally 1 round per level. I think in this situation, it's until you stop channeling it. And it takes a certain amount of focus to do, so it's not like you could walk around all day channeling ESP while holding conversations.
But what about walking through a mine using ESP to see if you're being ambushed?
That seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unless you're walking through the mine for like an hour, and then we'll probably make some sort of like
it's 1,000
focus
feet.
save. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I will be using ESP. Does it use my level for the range?
No. It should be minimum of the caster's level. To make a permanent magic item, you've got to be at least, what, like 16? I think 14th level. So 14 rounds minimum.
Okay.
And then maybe after 14 rounds, we'll make like concentration checks or something to see if you can still go.
Not rounds, but in this case, it's 70 yards of range.
Oh, okay.
But it's blocked by earth, so
right.
I will only notice like the moment it steps out of the wall, if it indeed has thoughts.
Well, you enter into the mine, and you can quickly find a trail of gooey blood left by the creature.
Does it go down the mine, or does it go into one of the walls?
It drags along the base of the floor, and then sort of slides up against one of the walls and kind of runs on the corner between the ground and the wall, which is really not quite a corner. It's a little more curved. And then you come across a body, maybe 300 feet in, crumpled up, and like as if the creature tried to pull it into the wall. It's just like squished up there and then like slopped and fell down. But there's like a big splatter where the corpse was held against a wall for a period of time.
Okay. I wonder if earth elementals can see in the dark, or if I am at the advantage here.
Well.
So it looks like the body was dragged here, and then the elemental entered the wall. Does that seem like the most likely?
That seems like a plausible explanation for what you are witnessing.
Yeah.
The real question is, did the creature fuck off, or is it still here somewhere?
Well, I investigate the wall that it entered and feel out with my ESP, but I think there's still only silence, right?
There is but silence to call out to you.
And I will continue searching the rest of the mine.
Yeah. You search around the mine a little while, poke about. You get no detections from your ESP amulet. It feels like if it's here, it's deep in the walls and you can't see it, and it probably can't see you.
Okay. Is there copper about left over from our foray into the elemental plane of Earth?
It seems like the copper has maybe been knocked out of the way or like picked up and then dropped again, but it seems to be scattered around here. It's probably all still here, just like moved about. All
right, then I will search the entire mine, the entire 1,000 feet quickly, and then I will go to collect the copper.
Yes, you can start hauling away these large chunks.
And I'm on extra high alert, half expecting that collecting this copper will attract the elemental. So I'm sort of like, I'm going to pick up the copper now, and I look up to see if I'm getting ambushed. But if after the first few minutes of that, it doesn't show up, I may more efficiently begin collecting the copper.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to show up.
Okay, so
you can gather your copper in peace and haul it back home.
Pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And the elemental does not show up?
The elemental does not show up.
And I go back to town and it's been leveled?
Nope, the town is still there. It appears the elemental has left the mine and is probably gone, and it's probably safe to return to the mine, you know. It wasn't there when you walked in. It should be safe now.
Mm-hmm. The bodies?
Well, there's the one body, one person that was hanging out keeping an eye.
Mm-hmm. Who was that? I'll go find the foreman and ask what the heck was going on there.
Yeah, well, it's not too difficult to... I guess it is kind of difficult to recognize the body. It's been pretty badly pulverized here.
Yeah. But say I went to have another look at the mine and there was a body inside. Why was anyone near that place?
Right? That's weird. Why would you bother staying near such a place? The
dangerous place.
Bill is the name of the dead man.
Is this a random name generator? This is the worst random name generator I've ever seen. Did you really make a table of boring ass names?
I made no such table. I'm just
so
pulling.
If you're feeling uninspired to come up with your own boring names, you can just.
I'm pulling casting characters from King of the Hill.
All right. This is.
Next guy that we come across is going to be Boomhauer. That's how we get Nancy as Dale's uncaring wife. If we had delved deeper into it, you'd see that she's actually in love with a nearby native person and was cheating on Dale all along. That's why she didn't care that he was dead. Poor Bill, however, unmarried. Interested in many things, but kind of dumb. Hung out at the mine past the time he should have and paid for it with his life.
Was he not assigned to be there by the foreman? He just took it upon himself?
He was just curious, yeah. Mine was shut down. What else is he gonna do? He don't got no wife to keep him warm during the winter months, so he just hung out by the mine waiting for it to reopen. It's his whole life. That's all he does, Single man living for work. Didn't go well for him.
So returning to town, has anyone sighted the elemental, or does it seem like it moved on?
It seems like it's moved on. It's just wandered off into the earth somewhere. A mini elemental.
Well, we got our copper.
Cool. And I believe you had to wrap up early today. Is that around now?
Now would be great, yeah.
Well then, I think we have done some...
Promised 20 minutes for all 4 of our loyal fans complaining on the Discord, and so I'd say mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. We did successfully learn some new spells. We did some mining. You now have large amounts of copper lying around that can be minted into coins. You've got chunks of iron and silver as well. Your apprentice has learned a new spell. You've learned a new spell. The dwarves have yet to be dealt with, but perhaps that will be next week's task.
I believe so. We have successfully infested our mine with earth elementals, as every proper mine should be. So really just I'm doing the job that you should have already done as a DM. Why didn't you put any earth elementals in this mine, Neal?
I just wanted...
Is it really a copper mine until I guess this is why we're doing these early days of the world sort of scenarios, so I can show you how to properly world build.
Yeah, we need to populate all of the mines in Earth in Arcadia with elementals, and Devon's the one to do it. Yeah,
I got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate your efforts to make this a better world.
Got to populate the pits with basilisks. Build the mines with elementals.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we will head out. Do you have any final words of wisdom for our viewers?
I don't think so. Thanks for watching. You doing a critical feedback in a couple of hours?
Yes, we will be doing critical feedback in a couple of hours. So come on by for that.
And if you show up and you ask him, you ask Neal your romantic questions, he might answer those too.
If there are no D&D questions, I will help you with your romantic
let's
problems.
Let's be fair. Half of the D&D questions are interpersonal problems.
They really are.
Social dilemmas. So what's the difference, really?
I agree. Well, we will head out now. We will not see Ryan for critical feedback, unfortunately. We'll have to catch him another time. So, farewell and goodbye.
Bye-bye.